Hey, how's it going? It's Keith Townsend from thectoadvisor.com with another CTO dose. We're going to talk about removal of friction, or at least when to think twice before you remove friction. That may be kind of anti-DevOps, we'll call it. I've heard that term concept when it comes to enterprise IT, and what we've heard from analysts such as myself, that in order to enable digital transformation, we have to remove friction. And that's friction between the user or the consumer and the business when it comes to business logic and when it comes to the business process. But when it comes to non-transactional things such as application development, we need to be careful about when and how we remove friction. As a good enterprise architect, we will understand the complete system. And when I say complete system, I don't mean just how an application works. It interacts with different parts, whether it's messaging buses, cloud computing, on-premises storage, the application itself. I'm talking about the system of governance and processes around application development. When we're in a brownfield environment, we forget that a lot of times that the culture of development is a result of years and years of trial and error. A lot of times we have an undocumented process that just simply works. It may be slow, but it works. I had to turn down a customer, or at least refer the customer to a different consultant, because I didn't have the correct skill to help them with their unique challenge after I triaged their problem. They had introduced new technology into their development process. Basically, they had a traditional cycle of development where the whole team got together, put together their code improvements, tested those code improvements, and then deployed it on deployment day, that Tuesday. They didn't have a CI/CD process. They were a slow organization. In order to fix that perceived problem, they introduced distributed development resources, giving each different team a virtual machine, self-service capability in which they could go and test their code independent of the other teams and move fast. Well, they moved fast and broke some stuff. Instead of improving the overall speed to delivery of the application, they end up introducing defects into the process because they didn't take integration test as a part of the holistic portion of development. So while they reduced friction in one area, they caused a complete different breakdown of the overall system in another. So it's not always good to reduce friction. At least you shouldn't reduce friction without giving consideration to governance and process. When you're looking to introduce a new technology, you need to really think through what exactly are you improving on the front end and how does that impact the back end. Document out your entire process, your entire development life cycle. Understand that life cycle so that when you do run into these challenges, and you will still run into challenges, you can look at the overall process and understand how you've broken the process by removing friction. That's it for this episode of the CTO Advisor. You can follow us on the web, thectoadvisor.com. You can follow me on Twitter at CTO Advisor if you have some pushback or questions around this, or you can just shoot me an email, Keith at thectoadvisor.com. Talk to you next CTO Dose.